Good morning, friends. I posted on my Instagram yesterday that I once again went from 190 pounds down to I don't know exactly how many pounds, but all I know is that I fit into my clothes again. And I made this video, I think I did like I lost 30 pounds in 60 days video when I was like 18, but let's be real. Your 18-year-old body is not your 29-year-old body. As we get older, it gets a little harder for us to lose weight and keep weight off. So I wanted to make this video as an adult, kind of like telling you all the things that I did to lose weight in a consistent way that also lasted, that actually kept the weight off. And this isn't no bullshit. This is some real shit. Like, it's really simple. It just takes like being a little bit more educated on your food and the things that you're putting into your body, because everything that you touch, anything you put onto your skin, anything that you consume makes your body, right? We are what we eat. If we are eating bullshit, when our cells reproduce in like 60 days, like they die off and they recreate, we are replacing our body with the nutrients that we're feeding it. So if we're feeding it like what, Sabritas, we're feeding it like McDonald's, if we're feeding it like processed foods, disgusting oils, then our body's we're gonna feel like fucking shit. When you feel like shit, you don't even want to get up, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to exercise. It's a vicious, endless cycle. So I'm gonna let y'all know everything that I did to kind of like help with the weight loss. Back in December, I want to say, estaba inflamada. I was so inflamed. You could see it, the puffiness in my face. I could not fit into any of my clothes, girl. I was wearing like skirts nonstop. I even bought Spanx. Like, I bought Spanx because I was like, dude, this gut was not being controlled anymore. So I was like, you know what? I don't feel good. I wake up sluggish. I wake up gross. I can't even like exercise without getting out of breath. And when you go from a point where you were very fit, you were doing like exercise every day, you're eating good, when you go from knowing what you were doing to feel good to doing the opposite, it honestly feels a lot worse, I think, than if you've never been there. Because at least like you're like, man, like if I would have just kept going, if I would have just continued, I wouldn't be in this position. But in reality, life happens, right? And we have to give ourselves some grace and stuff and know that, it is what it is. So the one thing that I did was stop my sugar cravings. I'm like a little sugar fiend. I'm and I realized that it could be like a parasitic thing. It could also be a candida overgrowth. For me, it's a candida overgrowth. So I made this tincture a long time ago called Yeast Be Gone. I just became a little bit more consistent with it. But pretty much this little tincture, I take it and it helps the good bacteria against the bad bacteria, so that the good bacteria has a fighting chance against the candida. And sometimes it's not you having these sugar cravings, it's literally like a little parasite or a little candida telling you, hey, you know what sounds really good right now? An ice cream or like some pancakes. Dude, literally refined sugar. There was a study done on a couple little rats, and they did a little maze on the rats, and the rats were able to complete the maze, but then they fed that rat sugar, and then it could not complete it. It took like 6 times longer for them to complete these puzzles. And so in reality, that it really puts things into perspective, because when you consume sugar, your mind just it kapoots. Like, you can't function anymore. So in order for you to make better decisions in life on what you eat, you have to cut out the sugar as much as you can. Replace it with healthy sugars like mangoes or some type of fruit or a fruit smoothie. Something that's accessible to you always is frozen fruit that's holds all of the nutritional value of when it was frozen. So just doing healthier alternatives to like your sweet tooth. I like agave. I rather do agave. This has a lower glycemic index than like other sugars and things like that. So yeah, replace your sugar cravings with fruit. The second thing is replace all of your oil. Replace it, replace it, replace it. Stop doing the canola oil, stop doing the sunflower oil, stop doing all of the nasty rancid oils that you're putting into your body. Try to limit that. I do more butter. I'd rather do butter and avocado oil. Fire. This fries everything so nice. Try to limit your fried foods, but sometimes you get that fried food craving. Avocado oil. The next thing is stop going to Starbucks, girl. It's not good for you. When you start to actually enjoy the actual taste of real coffee, you'll realize that Starbucks is not real coffee. It's all sugar. So stop getting in that drive-through lane. If you need your coffee, try to opt like what I did. I was addicted to Mexican mochas. Now, what is in a Mexican mocha? It's cacao and refined sugar and cinnamon. Like, addicted, girl. Like, I was like, oh, I need one a day, and then it turned into 2 a day. So what I started doing, I started asking, instead of the 16-ounce cup, I started getting the 8-ounce cup. I cut it in half, more espresso. I started then doing a cortado. Like, I started just limiting the oat milk, all of the soy milks, almond milks. Like, those have a lot of sugar in them. So just limiting those as much as you can, and also the pumps of sugar, try to not do that. That's just pure sugar right there. So just try to fall in love with the actual taste of coffee, because when you have actual coffee, like a cortado, it's bitter. So that bitter taste is actually going to stimulate your taste buds, and it's actually going to help your liver. The liver loves bitters, and when you eat it, then your tummy digests food a lot better. Then eventually, once you do all of the replacements and things like that, like, I hit a plateau. There was like no more weight I could lose with just eating better, you know, because I'm 29, like, I was stuck. Even though I was eating like super healthy and I replaced everything, I still was like over consuming food. So I was just kind of telling myself, like, no, girl, you just ate. There's no way you could be hungry. I would let myself go hungry because I had just eaten like 30 minutes ago. You feel me? So I'm like, bitch, you're not hungry. Like, you just ate. Obviously, like, eat if you haven't eaten. I don't do the fasting stuff. I feel like our body needs brain food. So, and I do love food. I'm like a foodie. So I just tell myself, okay, you ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your snack, like, you're good. Yeah, parale. If I get like a little sugar craving, I make myself a tea. This one's my favorite tea to make to also stop sugar cravings. It's also very full of antioxidants. And it has anthocyanins, which helps to oxygenate your cells so that your cells could function optimally. I add a little bit of agave, a little bit of oat milk in this, and it stops a craving right there. Instead of doing soda, I opted for mineral water or kombucha. I try not to eat pork. My body doesn't really do well with pork, so I just try to do more like fish, chicken. I'm not a brown rice girly. Like, I stick with white rice, and I just add lots of like really delicious veggies in it. Just try to add as many veggies that are seasonally available in your area into your foods. Even if you mince them super duper tiny and you don't notice them, they're getting into your body. So that's the best part. So I hit a plateau and I started realizing like, okay, I need to work out. I need to start working out. But it's hard, right? Like it's so hard. And then I've been doing like the mountain, like I run up the mountain and go down the mountain. For some reason, I was not losing weight going up the mountain or down the mountain. It wasn't until my mama of three body was like, okay, fine, I'll start working out. And it was really hard to start. And I still remember it hurt. It hurt. I started doing booty king. This is not like a sponsored video, but I started doing booty king. That shit's hard. Okay. It tells you to do 3 reps of each exercise with weights or without weights. And then you do it every day consistently. Girl, tell me why I tried booty king like 6 different times and I failed each time. But I wasn't failing because I was building muscle. Little by little, each time I would try again, it would get a little easier. One time I would push myself too hard and I was sore for like a week. And then I felt like I failed because I didn't work out for a week. But I actually realized that even if you work out 3 times a week, that's enough to keep your body toned, like completely. I suck at ab workouts. I did have a C-section. My pelvic floor is shot. But this is what I wanted to focus on. So I did push through the belly workouts because it's hard. I will assure you that like if you just try to stay consistent, even 1 time a week, twice a week, that's better than nothing. And after, you feel so much better with your day that you just want to like take on the world. I didn't start off with what the program says. I literally just did 2 reps with the minimum like exercise amount, and it still made a huge difference in me. And then people started noticing on the 2nd week. They're like, what have you been doing, girl? You look good. And I'm like, oh really? Like it's working. Like that's the best feeling right there. So keep trying, keep going with it. It's a little hard. We're here for you. We understand. Y'all know that we've been there, done that, and now been there and done that at 29 again. My man, he wants to also like share with y'all like how he lost weight and stuff. He lost a lot of weight. He went from 300, I think he's like 210 right now. He wants to share with y'all like what he did too, because we're on this journey together, and if we all feel better, like we can take on the world together. So I'll see y'all later. I hope this helped. Bye.